Hello and welcome to the Shine Podcast. My name is Kimber Boschelle, and today we have a guest who has done it all and inspired others while doing it. A football player, a business owner, and a motivational speaker. Thank you, Lamonte Thompson, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Our first question today is, what was it like getting recruited in high school?
Getting recruited in high school in 2010, 2011 was a little tough. So I was smaller coming out of high school. And at that time, they were taking bigger athletes, bigger running backs. So I probably weighed about 165 coming out of high school. Yeah, so it was a struggle trying to get recruited by the bigger schools and everything. And also the tools that these athletes have nowadays, we didn't have. You know, they got the Twitter and the huddles and all those good things to help them get recruited. And so it was tough. It was very tough. Thought I should have got more offers coming out of high school. So, fun fact, I was actually supposed to play at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga up until like 2 days before signing day. Yeah, so they ended up choosing another running back over me, which I know they regretted. But so that left UNA on the table, and I decided to sign with them.
Hey, UNA was the right path to go
It
down.
was the right path, and everything worked out in my favor.
What advice would you give to a high school athlete trying to go to the next level?
Work very hard. You got to put extra time in. Working out and training with the team is awesome. But if you want to go to the next level, you got to invest your time outside of the team activities. You know, you got to put that extra work in. You got to work harder than everybody else. Perfect your craft. Make sure your grades are good. Good ACT. I think they still take those, right?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Yeah. So you got to make sure you take a good ACT, do great on that, study, and stay out of trouble.
Is there any specific football player that you looked up to growing up?
Growing up, LaDainian Thompson. So I was a big LT fan, and my initials are LT also, so it's crazy. But LaDainian Thompson, as I grew up a little older, Reggie Bush, those type of guys, they were just exciting. They ran the ball so hard, and it was electric. So I always tried to model my game after those guys, and there was many more. But I remember before games, and I would be just sitting in my dorm room or whatever, just watching highlight films of the greats before me, and it just inspired me a lot just to keep going. When things didn't look as good as they should have, just inspired me to keep going and say, okay, I can do this. Just keep working.
What made you come to UNA?
So I'm born and raised here in Florence, Alabama. And so UNA was always a great option for me. So come signing day, UNA, they really wanted me to be here. It was a great opportunity. I got to stay in my hometown hero, as they say. So it was just a great decision for me, and everything worked out great.
What was it like balancing student and athlete life?
As a freshman, it was tough because, in high school, you made to go to school for 8 hours. You get to college, and it's like, hey, you got a class for an hour and a half and maybe another one 3 or 4 hours later. So you got the option of maybe not going sometimes. So, but it was great. It was definitely an adjustment. But just figuring out, finding time to study film for sports, and getting your work done, and also having a social life. So, yeah, it's a little bit much, but definitely an adjustment. But it was great. It was all fun.
Yeah, you were very motivated to do all of that. That's a lot. What was the most impactful moment playing for UNA?
My impactful moment was, I believe, spending time with my teammates. I built a lot of great relationships in the locker rooms and everything. Relationships that's going to last a lifetime, and also just inspiring so many people. The hometown of Florence is so good. It's so loving and accepting, and just meeting so many people. And I networked a lot, in college, so a lot of those relationships carried on after college and everything, so related to business also. So I believe mainly building a relationship with my teammates, most impactful moment.
Are you still in contact with your teammates today?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're brothers for life. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's so sweet. What other organizations were you involved in on campus?
It was mainly football. I did a little FCA. Yeah, Fellowship Christian Athlete. So I did that. I did. I was involved in the disaster relief.
Oh.
So after bad weather, I mean, we had a tornado up in what was it? A little bit past Lexington. So me and some teammates, we went down there and helped clean up debris and everything like that. So that was the main thing.
How do you feel about some college athletes getting paid now to play?
I say, I guess I was born a little too early.
Jealous?
Yeah, I'm a little jealous because, golly, that would have been a blessing. And I think a lot of athletes, that they don't know how fortunate they are to have that opportunity to make money and change their family circumstances, while they're just in college. Because a lot of us, back then, we had to make it to the next level, which is the NFL, in order to get any money. I wish I was born a little later. Wish I could have made a little money in college. And I think some are making money in high school now.
Yes.
All the way from high school, so it's different. It's very different. But also at the same time, I think it kind of puts a damper on college football just a little bit, because now I think athletes are approaching college looking at it as a money scheme versus going to get your education, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And working so hard to get to the next level. Because nowadays, I mean, you can get a nice check from, any of these companies, $300,000-$400,000 or up to $1 million. Some are getting paid a lot more than that, $4 million, just in college. So I believe a lot of athletes, they can say, "Oh, I'm about to make $2-3 million in college. I don't really care if I make it to the NFL. I'm making it now." I don't know what the evolution of college football is going to be, but I just know the student athletes, they have a great opportunity, and I hope they all take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to a current UNA student?
Focus on school, network, get to know everybody. I'd say make sure your grades are great, and also have a plan B. You have your plan A and say, "Hey, this is my major. I'm going to do this." But if that don't work out, or I end up not liking it, I can go this route. So just always have your options open. There's a lot of things in life people say, "Oh, I would never do this." So don't say that. You might end up doing it. So just keep your options open. Network with everybody, and stay in good graces with everybody as long as you can.
When did you realize that football was going to be a job for you? What moment defined your UNA football career?
I'd say in 2013, which was my redshirt sophomore season. It was the first game of the season. It was my coming out. I started. I was a starting running back that season before, but I kind of mixed in with a lot of different other positions and different running backs. And that year there, I kind of solidified my job that first game of the season. That's when I knew, okay, here we go. Yeah, I was on there.
What was it like when you realized you were going to go pro?
Also, it was also a dream come true. So since the age of 6, I always told my parents and all my friends, I wanted to go to the NFL. And at a young age like that, or even as you get older, it's very far-fetched. It's kind of like a 1% chance you go out of all the collegiate athletes. But it was definitely a dream come true. Couldn't believe it, but I knew I worked hard for it, and I put the time in, and I grinded over and over and over, did everything right, stayed out of trouble. So it was definitely amazing.
That's a huge accomplishment. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the NFL.
The NFL was awesome. It's definitely a dream come true. It didn't last as long as I wanted it to, but I got the opportunity, and I can say, hey, I made it to the NFL. I got to play, and I met a lot of great people, great organization. Just making it to that level, it's so different and I'm so grateful and appreciative because there's so many people who just want that opportunity, that wish they could have had that opportunity, and I made it from a Division II school, which is a lot harder to make it, versus me playing at Alabama or Auburn, Mississippi. So I'm just definitely grateful. But the experience was awesome. Everybody's awesome. Everybody's great. All the athletes are good. So it's high competition. And it's truly a job. Oh, yeah. So, it's film. You got to watch a lot of film. You got to do treatment on your body. You got to practice. You got games. A lot of people probably still think it's just it's just football. It's just a game. No, it's a full-time job. So I had to learn that. So, I had to really take it serious. So.
What did you do to make yourself stand out in such a competitive field of football to make yourself be the greatest?
I think it happened before the games. So the training and all the off the field training, the training that people don't get to see, that's where it all. That's how I became great. Running hills during the summer at 10 o'clock at night. Running miles through it before the season. Working out after practice. After games, getting there watching film. Just trying to just be a step ahead of everybody. And I worked. My thing was I just always wanted to outwork everybody, and I did that, and that's what made me great and made me go to the next level. Yeah.
Do you still play football to this day?
Oh no, I wish, but I'm a little beat up. I don't know if I can do it again.
You don't play with buddies or anything?
No, not really. A lot of people are busy now and working and stuff like that. But I get a phone call every now and then and say, "Hey, you want to play 7-on-7?" But I'm usually too busy to do it. But I might still have a little gas in the tank. I probably can get out there and score a touchdown or two.
What were your experiences in the NFL?
I'd say being able to go into the big stadiums and having all those fans cheering for you, that was very different. I played here at UNA, so the stadium I played in versus the NFL stadium is crazy. Big difference. So that, I say the fans. Also just going in the airports and things like that with your team attire on and people asking for autographs. I signed a few autographs here at UNA, but not like that. It was a lot different once I got into the NFL. So just people knowing you and everybody just want to be around you and talking like that and, learning how to manage money, things like that. But it was a great experience, so for sure.
That's so fun. Did you prefer in your NFL and UNA experience, did you prefer home games or away games more?
Home games, always. Always home games. Yeah, you want because at home games, it's going to be a lot of people that you know personally that's going to be there. You got the home crowd, that supports you. That's the biggest support that you ever get. So home games for sure, always. Always home games.
What was the coolest place you traveled to with the NFL?
Coolest place, I'd say Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, Miami was cool. But I can say this, when we travel, it's not we don't get a lot of leisure time.
Really?
Yeah, it's very strict. We fly in, we got practice, we got meetings, dinners, and we got to be in the hotel by a certain time.
Oh.
Curfew. Yeah. So a lot of people think it's just like, oh, it's party, or they can do what they want to do. No, it's stipulations and things like that. But yeah, probably Miami. It's just a beautiful city.
That's good. They keep you on track.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, keep you focused. So how did you take getting cut from the NFL and apply that into going into a different job and moving on?
Right. So getting cut from the NFL, it was a tough journey for me. It was a tough time because I played football from the age of 6 all the way up to 23. That's a long time. It was my life. Football was my life. I dedicated everything and more to football, So when it came to an end, a lot of athletes, we don't know how to cope with, football is over with. Because it's literally been our whole life.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, now what am I going to do? I got my degree, but what am I going to do? But when I got cut, it was very tough. I went through depression and, didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be seen out. But from somebody else's eyes, they probably would say, man, you had a great career. You played high school, college, got the chance to play in the NFL. That's awesome. Like a lot of people would kill to be in that position. But I just my plans and my visions, I envision to play a lot longer than what I did. So I went through a depression and everything like that, just trying to figure out life and which direction I wanted to go. So I kind of just reverted back to my my values of what I was taught. So my dad, he owned a custom cabinet business. So I've worked with him all throughout, from a kid all the way up to, in college. I just decided, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and all that hard work and work ethic that I had, I just transferred it over and I went all in. I'm a put all my eggs in one basket type of guy. That's what type of guy I am. So.
Yes, sir.
But it all worked out. It all worked out.
It all worked out very good. Yeah. You have an extremely successful business. Yeah. How did you make the transition from football to being a business owner?
Well, I'm going to be honest, the intangibles was the same. So I just basically took all my hard work and my dedication from sports, which was football, and transferred it over to the business, and just basically just that same faith I had that I can make it to the NFL. I had that same faith as in I can make business be successful, and bring people along with me. So same work ethic.
Yes, sir. Tell us a little bit about your business.
So I own a custom cabinetry business. So anytime someone builds a brand new house or they're doing a big remodel project, they call me. So a lot of people don't know that the high demand for cabinetry is very high. Anytime somebody building hospitals or a dentist's office, I get phone calls. So yeah, it's great. I love it. My dad actually taught me. So like 6 years old, 7, 8 years old, I worked all the way up. Even during the summers when I was here at UNA in college, he made me work. I hated it at the time, but I'm so glad he made me get in there and work. So I ended up taking over there.
How do you balance being a motivational speaker and a business owner?
Well, you just gotta find time. It's no one's ever perfect at it. You lack in some areas, but I try my best. I work a lot of hours. I get up early, maybe 4:30 in the morning every day. Sometimes I have to work 7 days a week. But, you just got to find that balance and just try to dedicate your time to both, to both areas.
Do you have any pieces of advice for our listeners?
My thing is find out what you want to do in life by finding out what you love. If you have a passion, a lot of people, out here today, they really don't know what they want to do. Find something that you love and go all in with it. Go 100% with it, and you'll be grateful. You won't regret it, because I know a lot of people are doing things and having jobs and are involved in careers that they really don't like. It's just paying the bills. But life is so short. You want to do what makes you happy and go all in about it. And if it don't work out, hey, it was meant to be that way, but that don't mean give up. You know what I mean? Just try a different avenue, but still be in that same direction that you want to go. Just treat people right. Treat people the way you want to be treated in life. That'll go a long way. Just work as hard as you can. That's the best advice I can give everybody.
That's really good advice. Thank you. How did you get into motivational speaking?
It was I really got a phone call from an old teacher here at UNA. And they was like, hey, we would love to get you up here to speak and everything. I said, okay, I'd like to do that. And I did it, and they loved it, and I loved it. It was something, it felt good to me to be able to share my old experiences, that could possibly help somebody out in the future. You know what I mean? And so that's really how it started. And I've spoke at numerous places now, and I love it. Just being able to help somebody from the things I've done in the past, it just means a lot to me.
Where's the most interesting place you've spoke at?
Here at UNA.
Really?
Yeah, here at UNA. Yeah, I think that's the most interesting place because it's home. It's always be home to me, and I always come back. This is my place. I'm born and raised here. So, and just speaking to the current athletes and everything, because they have the same mindset that me and my old teammates had. Oh, we all gonna go to the NFL and we all gonna do this, but I just kept it as real as I could with them. It's not 100% chance you gonna go, so you just need to make sure you make other plans. But if you all in and if you put the work in, then hey, go all in. I'm all for it. But gotta have different plans just in case one don't work out.
What all records do you have at UNA?
I believe I hold the longest kick return for a touchdown in playoff history.
Oh.
I may still hold it. I believe I do. I think it was right around 90 yards. I was the first 1,000-yard rusher since 1995.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was 2 years old when the last person had rushed for 1,000 yards. And but I believe we had a UNA running back to break that after me.
Oh, really?
He rushed for more than me, yeah. But it was my senior year in 2015. I rushed for maybe 1,200 yards, something like that. But yeah, I was the first 1,000-yard rusher since 1995 in 2015.
Wow, that's really amazing. I love that. So I notice your shirt says Jesus is King.
Mm-hmm.
How has your faith led your life?
My faith has led my life in a tremendous way. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of support as far as not family wise. My mom and dad always supported me to the T, and my close relatives, but just like friends and such on, because I was a lot smaller than most football players. 5'8". At coming to high school, I was 165 pounds. So I would say, yeah, I'm going to NFL, I'm going to college and all this. So a lot of people didn't believe in me. I always was the underdog. I always had that chip on my shoulder. So I felt like I always had to prove myself day in and day out. I had to prove everybody wrong, prove all the naysayers wrong. So, my faith has that's my core. Even with business, I had to have a lot of faith in order to say, hey, I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna open up this business. With no business loan, I'm gonna put my own money up. And I'm gonna go for it. And it worked out. 5.5 years later, still rolling. Business is great. But yeah, I always put God first. My prayer life is great. Even when times get rough, when things ain't looking so pretty, I know He's in control of it. Everything is just a journey, and everything's gonna be all right. The storm don't last forever. Tomorrow's will always be a better day. So my faith is everything.
So I heard that you may be getting inducted into the UNA Athletic Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about that.
You got to be 10 years removed. Let's see, next year it'll be 10 years for me. So me being inducted into University of North Alabama Hall of Fame, that'll be me jumping on my horse and riding off in the sunset. That'll cap everything off. The college football, the NFL, that'll send me off for the see you later. Thank you for everything. So I'm hoping I get inducted. That means a lot to me because I poured a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears into this university. I worked hard here, and I did good, and I inspired a lot of people. Stayed out of trouble. Did the best I could. So that would be great for me. That'll be the cap of everything.
You definitely made your mark on UNA, so I'm excited for you. That's going to be so great. What do you think about UNA opening a new stadium soon?
Oh, man, I'm excited for the University of North Alabama for that because that's been in talk since I was being recruited in 2011.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's been in talk for a long time, and, to finally see it coming to fruition is amazing. And I just hope that these student athletes are grateful for it. I remember when I played here, we didn't even, when I first got here at UNA, we didn't even have that new workout facility that they have when I first got here. We didn't get that till my junior year, maybe in 2014. So, yeah, it's seeing UNA make all these changes and upgrades is great, man, and I'm happy to see them growing.
Do you hope your kids go to UNA in the future?
It'll be great. It'll be great if they do. I would be happy and love to see them go here. But, they got a long time before they get to college. So who knows what direction they'll go to. But whatever they decide, I'm going to support them, and I'll be all in.
How did the University of North Alabama impact your path to success?
The University of North Alabama impacted my success in a major way. So the people that I was around here that I was involved with, they were great people. It was a family. It was a brotherhood. It was a great family. But just I'd say the intangibles that my coach Bobby Wallace instilled in us, just to work hard, always treat people right, and give the best you can give. Give all the efforts that you can give. That just continued on, with me in life and allowed me to be successful. And I was able to teach a lot of people the same things that I learned and everything. So, I definitely got to give UNA a big hand clap and a thank you and a hug for the opportunity. The full scholarship I got to come here and play football out of high school. All the people I met, the networking, me getting the opportunity to play in the NFL. It's a big part of my life, and I just really want to say thank you to UNA for the opportunity. I love them. It's always be home for me, and I will always have a special place in my heart for UNA.
UNA was so lucky to have you, and we are so lucky to have you on the Shine podcast today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Shine podcast. I'd like to give a special thanks to Lamonte for being our guest this episode, and a very special thanks to our producer, Emma Pugh, audio engineer, Brody Riley, and editor, Sam Robbins. This is Kimber Boschelle signing off, and as always, roar Lions.